All right, guys, we are back. Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy CMB checking in. And yes, it is great to be back in these YouTube streets. I took a little bit of time off, just had to get away, from YouTube for a while. Like I said in a previous video, YouTube can be a negative space sometime. And, you just need to, take a step back and surround yourself with a little bit of positivity. Now, with that being said, I want to talk about this Ryan fight, guys. Ryan Garcia making his return to the ring May 2nd. He's going to be on this card put on by Turki Al-Sheikh. First of all, shout out to Turki Al-Sheikh for putting together such a great card. I think he has been extremely great for boxing. I think he's making boxing great again by putting together fights that the fans want to see. He's everything we've asked for as fans. And I think the fighters too, the fighters can get these huge paydays, but they have to fight great competition, and that's what the sport should be about. The best fighting the best, great competition, and the price is not being so astronomical. He's working on a lot of things, and I do appreciate that as a fan. Now, he's going to be on this card. It's on May 2nd, by the way. It's the Fatal Fury City of Wolves card. It's going to be taking place in Times Square, New York. So this is something different. So this should bring a little bit of excitement to the boxing fans out there. Now, as the card goes, Ryan's headlining the card. Of course, he'll be taking on Rolly Romero. Devin Haney is also on the card. He'll be taking on Jose Ramirez and Teofimo Lopez, who's been, extremely controversial as of late. He'll be taking on Arnold Barboza Jr. So it's a stacked card, and this is probably one you don't want to miss as a boxing fan. Now, let's talk about Ryan Garcia. Now, personally, some of you guys who watch the channel know I'm not a huge fan of Ryan Garcia. I was at one time, but now I'm not. I really don't like him personally. I did at one time, especially around the time where him and Tank were trying to put together that fight. I had a lot of respect for Ryan at the time, because despite his, I would say, the platform that he was on at the time, which he's still on, DAZN, they didn't want this fight with Tank, as well as the PBC. They were kind of standing in the way of making this fight happen. And these two, they wanted to make the fight happen for the fans. And I really did respect that coming from both fighters. They made it happen. Ryan Garcia seemed like a guy who wanted to be taken seriously as a fighter, because you guys remember at the time, a lot of people thought Ryan Garcia was, wanted just to be a social media star, and boxing kind of took a back seat to that. So I did respect the fact that he wanted to make the big fight happen, and that he wanted to be taken seriously as a fighter. Now, my opinion of Ryan changed, of course, leading up to the fight with Devin Haney. I just didn't like the unprofessionalism, leading up to that fight. Of course, being popped with illegal banned substances in the system, missing weight at the weigh-in, and of course, the racial stuff. It just really soured me on Ryan Garcia, and I could no longer support him, as a fan. But with that being said, I know how to compartmentalize. I know how to, separate my personal feelings from what I feel for him as a fighter. And I think, Ryan Garcia is a good fighter. I think he has improved a lot under the tutelage of Derrick James. Now, I think he's back with Eddie Reynoso, and I think that's probably good for him. I think, Eddie Reynoso is probably a good fit for Ryan. And I saw some clips of him training with Eddie Reynoso, and he looked sharp. I will say that he looked sharp in this fight. Now, as far as this fight goes, I think this is a good tune-up from Ryan. It's not, I would say, necessarily a easy win in a sense, because, Rolly does have power. So, anything can happen in the sport of boxing when you're dealing with a guy who has power. But Rolly is not that technically sound. And Ryan Garcia has made a lot of improvements. I do lean towards Ryan to actually win this fight. So he's not, I would say it's not too easy, but it's not too hard of a fight for Ryan. And I think this is a great tune-up before he goes into a rematch with Devin Haney. a fight that's highly anticipated. Now, I think this fight is taking place at 147 pounds. Neither one of these guys have fought at 147, so I'm interested in seeing how well the power carries and how, you know, the extra added weight affects, you know, their fighting styles. Now, I did see that they do have a press conference this coming Tuesday, and Ryan left a little message for Rolly on his verified Instagram. I want to pull it up here if I can get it to come up here. I want to read it to you guys. This is what Ryan says to Rolly. He says, "Rolly, I'm gonna let you know through this tweet, and I hope you understand." Well, this is actually on Twitter, and I hope you truly understand. I'm not taking you lightly at all. I'm coming with some real effing anger, and I'm sorry it has to be you. You could say all the funny ish you are going to say Tuesday, but if you cross the line, I'm gonna slap the F out of you. I promise. You are here to be effing funny. That's it. Funny is what got you here. So don't change course. Grandpa has fighting for your life, and Pitbull had you looking for Easter eggs in the ring. And I'm gonna have you lay your gloves down in the ring like an MMA fighter, like MMA fighters retiring. So that's the message that Ryan had for Rolly. So as you can hear there, as you can see, Ryan has no fear of Rolly. He has no fear of Rolly. And that's because of his superior skill set. He knows Rolly is not that great of a fighter. And like I said, this is a perfect tune-up for Ryan to go into a fight with Devin Haney. Now, it's boxing. Of course, anything can happen. You can never overlook Rolly. He may get lucky and hit Ryan with a hard shot that puts Ryan down. But in all honesty, I think, you know, Rolly's food. And honestly, I don't know how Rolly got this opportunity of a lifetime. You know, he just seems to be one of those guys, no matter how terrible he looks in the ring, he gets these great opportunities. And I think he hit the jackpot this time. But, you know, I'm giving this one to Ryan. Like I said, even though I don't like Ryan personally, I think Ryan is a good fighter. And I think this is a great tune-up matchup for him this coming May. I think this card's going to do well. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think about this upcoming fight. Who do you have? Do you think Ryan's going to knock Rolly out? Because in all honesty, I think he will. And I think it'll be that devastating left hook that Ryan has. You guys let me know how you feel about it in the comment section. It's the CMB. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. And I'm out. Peace.